Hello, I'm back from the Isle of Wight. Nice holiday, beautiful week there, lovely weather, but it's always nice to get home, isn't it? After a holiday, I think so anyway. Nice to be back in your own bed, your own surroundings, your own bathroom and shower and everything. Okay, 5 degrees centigrade, what's that, about 41 Fahrenheit? 99% humidity, 99. Stone the crows. 1019 millibars on the barometer. And the flag, we've got the east wind. Can you believe it? It's still an east wind. I wonder whether the flag is stuck. No, of course it's not. It's flapping around quite freely. 6:30, no, 6:45 in the morning, late today. Think it's Thursday. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you're all okay. If you've anything to say, raise rants at protonmail.com. So without further ado, let's move on straight away to the Isle of Wight trip. I know a lot of you abroad will be interested in this, but I also hope that people in Britain will be interested. Not everyone's been to the Isle of Wight. So let's start off with the first day there. This is the first day of our holiday. After a good night's sleep, we've just had a lovely breakfast cooked by Tricia. I'm now looking out over the sea. We're staying at Ryde, near Wootton Bridge in Ryde. It's a lovely day, sun shining. We had a lot of rain. Was it yesterday? On the way here it was raining, but now it's a beautiful day. We're off to Haven Street. That's where the steam railway is. We're going on a steam-pulled train, which will be rather nice. There will be a recording of the steam engine, of course, to to bore you, so you've got that to look forward to. But it's a lovely day, blue sky, birds are singing, and our lodge, our cabin, is right in the woods. I'm out here on the balcony in the sunshine, surrounded by trees and woods. That's it. As you know, I really feel at home in the woods. Our first stop is Haven Street Steam Railway, which is interesting if you're into trains. Anyway, let's go into the station at Haven Street. Just got off the train. We're at Haven Street. Lovely ride. Wandering around now. Oh, here comes the train. Now, normally I'd cut this bit out. I edit stuff out, as you know, but I thought I'd leave it in just for fun. A little bit of swearing for you, only a little bit. Someone bloody shouting. Yeah, well, what's the point? Bloody people shouting. I'm trying to record. Oh, I've got someone arse shouting. Sorry about my language there. It is awful though, trying to record things outside when there are people about. I don't know why people have to shout. Anyway, I thought I'd not edit that piece out as I would have done normally. I'd leave that in just for your entertainment. Okay, let's move on. Just wandering around Haven Street. It's lovely, beautiful day. Birds are singing and here comes the train. Hang on a minute. Here comes the steam engine. It's going backwards this time. What a sight. I remember this as a child. Not a particularly good recording of the train. They keep steaming out the cylinders. You know how they blast out the cylinders with steam to get the water out after they've been stopped for a while? Well, they kept doing that deliberately, I think, just to show off, psh. Anyway, we're going to have some more psh now because we're going off to Shanklin Chine, right by a waterfall. I hope you can hear me over the waterfall. We're now at Shanklin Chine. And it says here, the Chine stream, which rises as a natural spring almost a mile away at the foot of Shanklin Down, drops 49 feet, that's 15 metres, with a cascade of water to the floor of the Chine. This is the Isle of Wight's tallest waterfall. The stream then continues its way down to the sea, with another smaller waterfall a short distance, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the whole thing is the Fisherman's Cottage Inn. It's this stream which over thousands of years has cut into the surrounding beds of sandstone and created the natural ravine, which is today's Chine. It's lovely down here in this sort of valley, and there's blue sky up there. Here come people, so I must turn it off. We're now back at the top of Shanklin Chine. There's a lift, fortunately, because of my bad knee. I don't know what I'd do without the lift. So we got the lift back up, but even then there's quite a walk uphill back to the car park where I am now, just having a rest and recovering. But what a lovely place. If ever you're on the Isle of Wight, if you're visiting here, go to Shanklin Chine. Fantastic place. We didn't have a cup of tea or coffee there because it's in cardboard cups. Trisha and, well, I don't like cardboard cups, so we walked along and went to the Nook, beautiful little cafe on the seafront at Shanklin, the Nook. And Trisha had an ice cold latte, whatever that is, I've no idea, and I had proper coffee. None of this modern rubbish. So we are now back at the car park, and I believe the next stop, according to Trisha the navigator, if I remember correctly, she said we're going to Quarr Abbey. That's the monastery where the monks are. We're going to have a look at a relative's grave there, clean up the little headstone, put some flowers there, go into the monastery itself, into the church. Is it a church? Or I don't know what it's called, which is lovely in there. Light a candle for him and also for my father-in-law, Trisha's dad. We always light a candle for him when we come to the Isle of Wight. So I shall be reporting in a nanosecond from Quarr Abbey. I'm now at Quarr Abbey, as you can probably tell. Beautiful day, clear blue sky. This is almost like midsummer. Wouldn't believe it was mid-May. There are some pigs here and piglets. Hello. You going to say hello for me? That's it. He's standing in a muddy puddle, as pigs do. Having a drink of water. Oh, I say he, it's a she. And she's wandered off. There are some baby ones, little piglets over there. Walking across the grass now towards the abbey. Pear trees, they're lovely. I know I keep saying it, but if ever you come to the Isle of Wight, do visit the places that we've been to. Shanklin Chine, Quarr Abbey, well, all over the place. I think wherever you go on the island, it's nice. There are one or two spots, of course, that perhaps aren't so picturesque or whatever. There are quite a few, unfortunately, quite a few derelict shops and buildings around because the holiday destination that this used to be has long since finished, really. There used to be coach loads of people all flocking to the island. I'm going back a few decades, of course, and the hotels, the bed and breakfast places, the boarding houses, they were all really busy during the summer. And now, of course, I was going to say most of them, I think it is most of them have closed. And they're just empty buildings, derelicts, a lot of them, which is a shame because these days obviously people go abroad. You know, who wants to get the ferry to the Isle of Wight? Apart from people like us. I suppose in a way it's good for us because it's not packed with people everywhere, which, as you know, I don't like. That breeze is warm, it's lovely. Oh, here go the bells again. But of course the island holiday destination that it used to be has gone, and with it, of course, all the money that the tourists used to bring in. Right, I shall leave you in peace for a minute. We've just had our lunch sitting under a massive oak tree. There are jackdaws all around here looking for crumbs. They're quite friendly. The sky is, well, there's not a cloud in sight again. That breeze is warm as well. It's really warm. It's beautiful. We're now in the graveyard at Quarr Abbey, going inside the, I think it's called a chapel, not a church. We'll go inside there after we've been here. Trish is just going to clean the headstone of a relative of ours, Paul, his name. Just going to clean that and cut the grass away and things. She's got her kit, scissors and cleaning equipment. She comes prepared. Birds singing, very peaceful place. I'm looking up at the building itself, the abbey. It looks, I don't know, it looks fairly newish. I don't know, I'll have to find out when it was built. Part of it looks extremely old. But this part I'm looking at now, the bricks look quite modern. Just wandering now down to the gravestones. Just walking through the wooded area by the side of the graveyard itself. Do you know, I could live here. I've said that before, haven't I? I could live in the woods in a log cabin. Imagine that. Away from people, away from the world. Well, I'd still be in the world, wouldn't I? All right, I shall now go and have a look at the headstone that Trish is cleaning, and then we'll go inside the chapel. We're inside the chapel now. I'm whispering because it's very quiet in here. It's also very cool. I'll have to whisper. I hope you can hear me. A few people sitting down. I think I better be quiet now. I've just discovered that it is a church. It says "to the church" on a sign outside. So it's not a chapel or whatever. It is a church. Very nice in there, very quiet, cool, very still, calm, tranquil, away from the madding crowd. We'd just been to have a cup of tea. Now you'll love this. Well, I loved it. You know I don't like being with people. I like being on my own somewhere. Well, we were looking round, and there's tables outside, all in the sun, people everywhere, dreadful. And I saw this huge willow tree in the corner of this sort of area. Someone's shouting over there now. So I went and had a look. Oh, it's a dog. And I went in, there's a kind of a clearing under the tree. So under this huge willow tree, which was also surrounded by bushes, there's this table for 6. So we went and sat in there, and it was lovely, away from the people. And it was cool, of course, in the shade, really nice. I'm now sitting outside. Well, there's a shop area, farm shop. I've been in there every time we come here. I've been in there, so the ladies have gone in there. That's Trisha, her mum, and her mum's friend. They've all gone in there. There seem to be a lot of people there. I think they should close this to the public when they know that I'm due to come and have a look. Just let me in. Perhaps I could hire it for the day. So I don't think that would happen. I always enjoy visiting Quarr Abbey. It's nice. Right, now we're going to move on. Where are we going next? Thursday today, and we're off to Osbourne House, where Queen Victoria and her hubby Albert resided. Is that a word? Resided? That'll do. That was their sort of retreat, I think, also where they entertained foreign visitors to the country. So that's going to be interesting. Do you remember I mentioned that Queen Victoria was sort of verging on an nymphomaniac? Well, I've been reading about it because someone asked one of the volunteers last time we were there, and I've been reading about it, and it would appear to be true. It seems that she was, verging on being a nymphomaniac. So that's quite interesting, because I always had the impression that she was this, well, later in life anyway, this stern old lady. We are not amused. I didn't think that she'd be anything like that. But when she was younger, apparently, when she was 24, she presented, was it a painting, I think, of her to Albert. She presented him with this painting of her with, well, she was basically naked, top half naked at least. So all very interesting. There's an engine. Can you hear an engine? I don't know what that is. Anyway, my next report, outside broadcast, will be from Osbourne House. That's the 12 noon bell at Osbourne House. We're looking for a picnic area, which we can't find, so we're lost. Trish is looking at the map. We're going to move on to Friday now. I couldn't record at Osbourne House. As I mentioned halfway through the next clip, I believe, there are too many people everywhere. There are volunteers everywhere. There are people talking and shouting and goodness knows what going on. Okay, let's carry on. It's now Friday morning. I'm sitting outside on our balcony in the sunshine. Blue sky. You can see the mainland just through the trees there. Yesterday at Osbourne House was good. I couldn't do a great deal of recording in the house because there were people everywhere, and of course they're all talking at once, and I don't know. I'll have to try and book the house just for myself and Tricia. I don't think that would happen. Well, they probably would do it, but it would cost a fortune. The sun's up. The time is, let me have a look, 8:24. Beautiful weather. I can't believe that we've had, well, basically April and most of May now. Almost summer weather, which is really nice. The wind is chilly. I don't know what the temperature is, but the wind is chilly. We're off to Cowes today. We're going around some sort of boating or marine type museum, which we've done before, but we're going to have another look. There was a bird that's very loud, been in a tree right next to our cabin. We didn't know what it was, so I've got on my phone, I've got an app that tells you, if you record the bird, it tells you what it is. And it's a wren. Now, wrens are really small. It was extremely loud for such a small bird. We haven't seen him. We've been looking for him. But anyway, that's all by the by. You don't want to know about the birds, do you? The car's behaving itself. Hope I haven't spoken too soon. Hasn't broken down or done anything daft. We did something yesterday coming back from Osbourne House. Our sat-nav doesn't work anymore. That's packed up. It's years old, so we've had our money's worth out of it. Oh, there goes a huge ship. A massive container ship. Stone the crows. Look at the size of that. Huge thing. Apparently Southampton it's an international port, and some of the world's largest containers go in. What's it say on it? CMA. I'm just reading it as it goes past. CGM. Massive thing. Absolutely stacked with containers. Probably all come from China, full of bits and pieces. So yes, the sat-nav yesterday, we're coming back from Osbourne House, and it was no good. So Trish found an app on her phone. So she put in the postcode of where we're staying, and it said, straight over here, turn left here, turn right there, and we ended up in a farm track. It was literally a farm track. And of course, I'm saying this can't be right. We followed the farm track half a mile, very, very slowly, half a mile. I kept wondering whether I should turn round or not. Anyway, in the end, we came out right at the entrance to the place we're staying, which was quite amazing. It was a shortcut. But I don't think we'll do that again. It was all flint and broken stones and won't do the tyres much good. But we made it home anyway. So as I say, it's Friday, the birds are singing, it's a lovely day, the sun is hot already, and we're off to Cowes. I shall report back later. There wasn't a great deal to see at Cowes, really, where we went anyway. It's all to do with boating, yachting, which I'm not into, and neither's Tricia. We had a look round a museum where there's a lot of boats, all nicely done, highly varnished, plywood and all that sort of thing, all looking rather nice. It's just not my sort of thing, so I didn't bother to record anything there. Another reason I didn't record, as soon as we arrived, this lady said, "Oh, come in, come in. You haven't got long," she said, "because we've got a coach load of children turning up in a minute." And they did. About 5 minutes later, there must have been 30-odd little ones, all around 5 years old. 5-year-olds are quite loud, aren't they? They're not conducive to making recordings. So, where are we going next? Hang on a second. Here we are at the Donkey Sanctuary in Wroxall, which is nearing the southern end of the island. After this, we're going down to Ventnor to go on our boat trip. A lot of donkeys here, Donkey Sanctuary, one or two ponies as well. This is for donkeys that have been mistreated. So this is rather a nice life for them after whatever they've had to endure. It's a lovely place. Trouble is it's Saturday. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? It's Saturday. So there are people people everywhere. I'm looking over a field of buttercups. This is really nice. The birds are singing. Sky's blue, the sun is out. And there's buttercups. You can probably hear Trisha in the background. She's about half a mile away, but we can still hear her. I wanted to record the donkeys. They don't neigh, do they? What do? They go... But there were too many people shouting and milling around. But I did manage to get one. I kept trying to encourage them to, when I was on my own, and it was quiet, which wasn't very often, I kept trying to encourage them to make a noise, but they wouldn't, apart from this very short clip of one. And that was it. Hundreds of donkeys there, and that's all I could get on the recorder. Now we've got some birds, if you like birds. Who likes birds? Now back to the lodge, the cabin, whatever it's called, and I'm going into the woods. I'm looking for red squirrels. I'm now in the woods. There's a dog barking. I'm now in the woods. I've just seen, run across our veranda, our balcony, a red squirrel. We've been looking out for them all week. There are notices everywhere. Beware, red squirrels crossing the road. We haven't seen one, but one ran right across our balcony. I just glimpsed him in a flash. So I'm now, there's a chiff-chaff up in the tree, singing his head off, or there was. I'm now looking up in the trees for red squirrels. Can you hear the birds? I'm sure this wildlife, this lot, they see me with the recorder and they say, look out, there he is, be quiet, silence. As soon as I go in, they'll all start singing again. That, needless to say, that is an idiot in a car. I nearly said something, what an idiot. Why do that? Lovely countryside like this, and you've got to act like a idiot. What is wrong with people? I shall let you know if I see a red squirrel. A little bit later, I went back to the woods. Just seen a red squirrel. Trish and I were walking along, and ahead of us on the path, he was just sitting there. Of course, he saw us and did a runner into the undergrowth, which was a shame. But I'm now sitting here in the woods. This is lovely. If you like the beach is just a few yards ahead, and there's the mainland over there. There's England. If you like the woods, then it's here. You've got the beach and the woods, and there's no people. Just the birds and me. Trisha's gone off on some 10 kilometre hike or something or other. Needless to say, I'm sitting here at a picnic table, surrounded by, someone's put some flowers here. There's a few flowers on the table, which is nice. I'm here on squirrel watch. Got the camera at the ready. So I'm here on squirrel watch with the camera. Hopefully I'll be able to show you a photo at some stage of a red squirrel. I've been here half an hour now and haven't seen anything. Did I tell you about the boat trip we went on yesterday? The driver of the boat, is it driver? Pilot? Whatever. Anyway, she was a young lady in her 20s, very knowledgeable, and we were lucky enough to sit up the front. So I was next to her and she's driving the boat. And there's a kind of marine sat-nav, a big screen, and I was asking her about it. And she showed me that it does echo sounding, sonar. And she showed me the seabed, which was 18.9 metres below us. Very interesting, because as you all know by now, I'm into all this sort of thing. There was the radio there, the VHF radio on channel 16. There were 2 maydays going on. Nothing serious. One fishing boat, I believe, has lost its power. Engine had packed up and he was drifting around. And the other mayday was a similar thing. I think someone couldn't start their engine or whatever had happened. So that was going on. Solent Coast Guard chatting to these 2 boats. And the young lady next to me, who was driving, was telling me all about the coastline and things. It was really worth a trip. I can highly recommend that. Apparently that was an hour, the trip. Apparently they do a 3-hour one. I think that's too long, especially for the old ladies. not to mention me. But that was really nice. The weather was good. The sea was a little bit, what do they call it, slight or something? A little bit choppy. I can hear the waves behind me now. I might go down the beach in a minute. I think there's some people down there with a dog. They're shouting and making a noise, so I'll wait till they've cleared off. Haven't seen a squirrel. Just birds at the moment, singing in the trees. But the boat trip was interesting because I said to her, is the screen the same as radar? And she said, yeah, it's got AIS, shows other boats on the screen. So you don't actually need radar. You can see on the kind of marine sat-nav, as I was calling it. I'm just going to butt in here to say you do need radar because obviously on the AIS, the automatic identification system, it doesn't show up lumps of wood and things floating around and flocks of birds and rowing boats that haven't got AIS, that sort of thing. So you do need radar. I thought I'd add that because if I didn't, I'm going to get loads of emails to raiserants@protonmail.com saying, oh, you do need radar because... So that stopped that flood of emails. Right, back to the recording. Really interesting. Of course, technology, electronics, it's all come on. When I was in the, 1970s, repairing and maintaining sonar, echo sounders, radar, ship-to-shore radios, I hated that job. I had to drive down to Poole in Dorset, mucking about on people's boats, Southampton, Shoreham Harbour, mucking around on boats. I hated the job. I love the electronics, but I hated the job. I hope there are no posh yacht owners listening because they were the worst people. There was one chap, I won't go into it now, but he was terribly, if it's not working, I shall hold you personally responsible. What? I won't tell you what I said, but I walked off the job. I said, sorry, I'm not doing this. And I drove back to HQ. I drove back to the workshop. Anyway, the chap apparently wanted me to go back, and I said, no, I'm not. Someone else went. And he was somewhat more polite when the other chap went back to finish off the job. He probably thought, well, if I don't have the engineer, the technician on board, then I'm not going to get the work done. He was sailing across the Atlantic or something daft on his own. Daft thing to do anyway. Why am I talking about boats? I'm in the woods. So, boats, because we went on the boat trip. It was really nice. We went very slowly from Ventnor round to St Catherine's Point, and we saw St Catherine's lighthouse there. St Catherine's Point is right on the south tip of the island, and we could see the old Knighton radio aerial mast. They were on 2182 kilohertz, if anyone's interested. In the old days, they were a fantastic signal back where I lived in the, when I was early teens and started listening to the marine stuff. But of course, it's all closed down now. It's all VHF. Boring. Well, not so much, but it is boring compared to the old trawler band days. Shall I risk going down? The trouble is going down to the sea. It's a very, very steep path. In fact, going down for my knees could be as bad as coming up, if not worse. Well, it's gone quiet down there, so I'm hoping the people have disappeared. As I said, Trish has gone off on some 10-kilometre hike or something or other. The old ladies are back at the cabin. They'll be nattering and reading their books. We've been out for coffee. This afternoon, as it's Sunday today, this afternoon is our last day. We're going to the Culver Inn up on the cliff top. There's the Culver monument thing up there. We always go there, and I always have a ploughman's, which is a massive ploughman's. You've got apple, grapes, bread, cheese, pickled onions, you name it. And what we have to do each time is I get so much cheese, I can't eat it all, there's a week's worth. So what we do is take a bag and put at least half of my cheese in the bag. And there's French bread as well. We've just been to a farm shop. I bought a jar of piccalilli. There's a blackbird. Two blackbirds coming towards me. We normally make our own piccalilli. I call it pick your willy, which is not really the done thing. I said in the shop to Trish, I said, look, pick your willy. And the girl behind the counter looked and grinned. So we normally make our own, but we've run out, so I thought I'd try a jar. And we bought some bread from Grace's Bakery. It was from the farm shop, but it comes from Grace's Bakery on the island. Brown seeded loaf, proper wholemeal brown bread. We've been having Hovis. I don't like Hovis. Stinks. It smells funny. I know they don't put bleach in it anymore, but it smells of bleach. There's someone shouting on the beach now. Oh, here comes a massive ship. Oh, it's a ferry. It's going to France. Yeah, that's a massive ferry. Must be Brittany ferries or something going over to France. What can I see here? Loads of sailing boats. The sea is a mill pond. I'm going to have to go down there and photograph it so you can have a look. I'll put photographs and videos on the website rants.info. So when I'm back home I shall do that, rants.info. And just take a little video or a couple of photos so you can see. Can I see the spinnaker? At Portsmouth there's the spinnaker tower. There it is, reflecting the sunlight. Spinnaker Tower, that's Portsmouth. So I'm right on the very northern point of the island at the moment. Okay, that's enough waffle from me. Can't see any squirrels. I shall go down to the beach and get some photos for you. I'm now on the beach. The sun is hot. The sea is a mill pond. There's an island of rocks over there, so the tide is out. Should go down to the water. This is a lovely beach. Sand, easy to get to. The water's shallow. No deep drops. Oh, there's a lady there in the woods taking photos of me. Not surprising, my male physique is rather wonderful. Oh, it's Trisha. I'm just going to walk a little bit further to the water here. It's fantastic. I want you to hear the sea. Right by the water's edge. That is a mill pond. I shall have to make a little video. I'm going to stop this now and make a little video. Back home now. What a wonderful holiday that was. A week goes so quickly, doesn't it? We were saying, why don't we go for a month? But then we thought, no, possibly a little bit too long. A month, isn't it? It's a long time. Anyway, it was really good. I think where we're going next, in September, we're going for a weekend away in Alton. That's Alton in Hampshire. Look it up on the map. We've got a weekend break there, which will be nice. I don't think there's anything else going on this year. So we've done Bletchley Park at Milton Keynes. We've done the Isle of Wight, off to Alton in September. And I think that's it. Apart from, of course, loads of trips to Amberley Museum and local stuff like that. I should just add that Alton is near the New Forest, so it's only a base. It's not Alton itself that is, well, it is fairly interesting, I suppose. Isn't that where the army is based, Alton in Hampshire? I think it is, I can't remember. Look it up. Look it up on Google. What else to mention? Yes, Osbourne House was lovely inside. Unfortunately, as I said, there were so many people. There were coach loads of people turning up, which is such a shame. Last time we went, it was pretty quiet. Nothing I can do about that, of course. Didn't get any squirrel pictures in the end, which is a shame. I was hoping to get at least one picture of a squirrel. Of course, the one we saw on the path when we were walking through the woods, no chance to take a photo at all. Pachung, we was off, gone into the undergrowth. So that was that. You might find the audio levels on the various clips that I took, the recordings, different levels. I have tried to sort of balance it all out, but it doesn't seem to work. My high-tech recording studio is so high-tech, I don't know how to use half the gear here. I've got this mixer that does all sorts of stuff, and I've got programs on the computer that do things. But I don't know how it all works. If you're interested in the boat trip, the boat is called Penelope. It's a state-of-the-art, I'm reading this, state-of-the-art 12-passenger catamaran designed for comfort and performance. There are two massive outboard engines on the back, built in 24 last year by Cheetah Marine. Spacious indoor and outdoor seating, onboard toilet facilities, hot water amenities. It was really good going round to see St Catherine's Lighthouse and all that stuff. There we are. Do you want the number? I might as well give you the number. 07930161090. What's it called? Ventnor Bay Charters. 07930161090. Well worth a trip if you're on the Isle of Wight. It's 1 hour cruise or a 3 hour cruise. Right, that's enough advertising. They can give me a discount the next time we go, because we're going to go on the boat again next year. We've decided. That's it, I think. I'm going to leave it here. Don't want to bore you too much. All these Isle of Wight trips. We have this every year, don't we? I go to the Isle of Wight and then I bore you with all the recordings. Now, hopefully it doesn't bore everyone. I know some of you will be thinking, oh, don't really want to know about the Isle of Wight again and again and again. But especially people that are outside the UK, even people inside the UK that haven't been to the Isle of, they might be interested in hearing all about it. As I said, I will try and get a video together. Well, I've got the video clips, put it all together if I've got time before Sunday, and photographs on the website, rants.info. I think we're going to Amberley Museum in a couple of weeks, so you've got that to look forward to. No, I won't bore you with that. Right, be good, be bad. If you're bad, don't get caught. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. That leaves you a huge, wide scope to do what you like. And I shall see you, where are we? I shall see you on Wednesday with a midweek message. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take care. Bye-bye for now.